Check, check.
Stand on one foot and see if they can hear us. Can you?
They can hear you on YouTube and on Facebook.
And just not on Twitch.
Not currently.
No twitching. Alrighty, well.
We're here.
Sorry, Twitch.
I'm twitching.
Alright, you're good.
Okay, hello, hello, hello. Here we are.
Howdy, folks.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
We're back. Again.
To the jungle.
For the 10th time today.
We got watching
It's
TV.
cool. So, this January, when the troop of us went down to Texas to the beautiful, amazing Wisa show, we met a dude named Jim.
A dude named Jim.
Yep, we met Jim, who has come up with a new style of Blevins buckle.
Stirrup fastener.
A stirrup fastener, that is correct. I don't really know the technicalities with the whole name Blevins, because it's a dude. Like, Blevins was a guy.
Yeah.
That did the first one that we'll find out in, like, the 40s with World War II. In any case, we've got this awesome new-fangled Blevins buckle that we're going to show you that is a locking Blevins. We also have...
Locking what?
Locking Blevins.
Oh.
Shush, Tony. I was just trying to swoop on past that mistake that came out of my mouth.
Not likely. You know when I record stuff in here and you laugh whenever I say stuff over 5, 10 times because I say it wrong?
Yes.
Stop.
I do that. Alrighty, Denny. Tell us about these buckles.
Okay. This is an original Blevins. It's actually a Blevins. These are Blevins type buckles.
That's correct.
They do the same thing basically. These buckles just come apart like this. They have two studs on them. 1, 2. That go into holes in your stirrup leather. This is the same type of buckle, only it has this cute little latch on it. And
oh my goodness, isn't that adorable?
Yes, it has a little pin back here that this latch, when you close this buckle, it latches in there. But on the front side, it looks basically just like a Blevins buckle. These, I believe, are stainless steel. The Blevins buckles are aluminum on the tongue part. And I think that's about the only difference. But I think he developed these. I'm not sure why he developed these. I think we.
Well, you know what, Denny? We've got a video.
Really?
We sure do. Let's watch that.
Have a video?
Let's watch Jim tell us about why he designed this buckle. Here we go.
No, we're not going anywhere. I don't.
No.
That crashed.
Because Tony doesn't have the video.
Okay, we were only joking.
Man, that was such a good intro to
It was
that
a great intro.
Man.
It was good.
It really was. It was natural and spontaneous.
Well, so the video was done by, do you remember who it was by?
High Tech Tack.
Well, his company is High Tech Tack, but the video was done by the Cowboy Channel.
Oh, the Cowboy Channel.
Yeah, if you don't know about the Cowboy Channel,
You're missing out.
Channel
That has cowboys. Channel for.
You know what? There's a channel for everything. So even the least techie people, the Cowboys, have their own channel.
All right, let's see what happens.
Those sticky people. Yes.
Let's see what happens now.
We're working on it here.
High Tech Tack. Jim, tell us about your company.
Well, High Tech Tack, we began about 8 years ago developing a new and improved stirrup adjustment buckle. Prior to that, people have been using the same stirrup adjustment buckle since Earl Blevins developed it back in 1945. So we were after something that was safer. Earl had already figured out the quickness and the ease of changing your stirrups, but we wanted something a little bit safer for kids, moms, people who maybe competed in speed events. So we came up with our product at that time.
And you actually have the product here with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, I also have Earl's product. At the time Earl developed this, he was actually in the military in 1945 and in the Second World War, and because of the need that he saw during his service in World War II, he knew that there needed to be something quicker and more efficient than the strings that you would normally find on your stirrup leather. So Earl developed this and began marketing this in 1945 because it doesn't lock and there's less of badge.
Obviously, there has to be a future for High Tech Tack. What is that future for you all?
Well, we were very fortunate at the WISA market this year in Dallas. We picked up a couple of more saddle companies. One of them was Martin Saddlery. We just completed their first order of 150 sets. We've also shipped to the Netherlands. People in Germany and also Australia are looking at it. So we're very...
Was Jim with High Tech Tack telling us about the difference there between
the
the buckles.
history of it. We can't play it all since it is from the Cowboy Channel, and I'm sure they would not like us to play it all. But I do know that Circle Y also has started using the locking Blevins on. Sometimes whenever we do videos, Abigail doesn't realize it, so she just messages me 100 times. So sorry about the extra sound. Circle Y saddles are using these locking Blevins as well. If you don't know about the Circle Y, I'm sorry.
Alrighty, well that is our little intro here. So we do have them. Right now we've got them in the 2.5 and the 3-inch vertical.
Do they come in 2-inch?
They do come in a 2-inch. We just haven't received that yet. I believe that we have. I think that we have some of those on order, but we did the 2.5 and the 3. Those are the ones that they could get to us the quickest. So that's where we're at. And Denny's going to show us how to do stirrups today.
Okay, I'll show you how to install these buckles.
Yeah.
And they're virtually identical. The holes are in the same spot. All the dimensions are the same.
So if you wanted to change out, if you currently
Yes.
have a regular Blevins,
Yes,
you could
yeah.
adjust it to this new locking style stirrup adjustment buckle.
Exactly, exactly. And the only difference is this latch. And of course the material that they're made
Right.
from. Okay, so I'm not even going to mess with the original Blevins right now since they're going to attach the same way. But there's 2 ways you can do this. And we've got 2 different sizes here. We've got a 2.5 and a 3-inch buckle. But the first thing I want to tell you guys is a 2.5-inch buckle will not fit a 2.5-inch strap.
Oh,
It needs to be 2 3/8 or thereabouts.
Okay.
A bit smaller because the actual dimension inside from side to side is exactly 2.5.
just like a regular buckle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And on the 3-inch, instead of a 3-inch strap, you need a 2 7/8 inch strap. And I've cut those. Imagine that. I have cut those like that for this demonstration. But first off, let's just go with the 3-inch buckle for right now. The 3-inch buckle. Oh, I forgot you have to trip this little latch.
You sure do.
The 3-inch buckle actually has the 3
You're over here.
rivet holes.
no, you're not. You're right.
3 rivet holes in it, if you can see that. And when I was building saddles, I didn't always use 3 holes. I generally just use these 2. But since we have 3 holes here,
We'll use them?
that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
But the first way you can do it is very simple. You can just put it, first off, it's got a little line here. I don't know if you can all see this little line, but that needs to be the end of your stirrup leather right there. So what I would do is center this here and mark these 3 rivet holes like that. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to take,
You've got 2 strips there.
I've got 2 strips there because one is the saddle fender and one is the actual stirrup leather.
Okay.
So, and that'll be self-explanatory to you all that are installing these. You'll have these 2 parts, I hope.
Are we going to scooch forward?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Fine where you need to be, but whenever you start hammering rivets, we're going to come over to this nice big old piece of granite we got over here.
Oh,
That's
Denny
all
brought
this
his-
today is long.
I brought a piece of steel.
Don't care.
Okay, but I'm going to use the steel on that.
Yeah.
How's that?
We put this whole dang table in here. We might as well use it.
Okay, to punch these rivet holes, I'm going to use a number 5 spring punch, or no, not a number 5. I'm going to use a number 3 spring punch. I'm sorry, I generally don't look at the numbers on these. I just pick them up. You can also use an 1/8 inch drive punch if that's what you want to use. But for me, I'm going to use this.
Number 3.
Yes, and I'm going to punch through both pieces of leather here.
Denny made himself notes today on what he's done, so
Yeah, and
he's trying to read them.
yeah, I couldn't read them. I made the notes, I just couldn't read them. Now I've got holes all the way through both pieces of leather here. So I'm going to take some where did I put them? Some number 9
Poor
rivet.
Denny didn't put him anywhere. I arranged his workspace for him, so he just has to find it where I put it.
I've got some number 9 rivet and burrs, copper rivet and burrs. And these are about 3/4 inch. You could probably get by with a 5/8 inch. But 3/4 is what I have here, so that's by golly what we're going to use. Now, Tony says I need to go to the big rock over here.
So he's gonna go see the Big Rock.
The Big Rock Canyon.
Yes,
We should paint a sign on the wall that says the Big Rock.
the big rock. I need to take some tools over here.
Here we go. What do you need?
Need this. What else do I need?
Did you already get your setup? Yeah, you did.
I think that's probably all I need. Probably need that piece of leather that I was working on.
It might help. Look at that angle.
Oh, you can see me. Okay, I'm going to take these. The actual post on this is the rivet, and these little round washers is the burr.
And for anybody that's ever tried to set a rivet and burr before and you do not have the right surface, it will not set.
That's right.
You will not. It will not happen.
Yeah, and you can set it on a piece of 1-inch granite if you want to, but you can break it pretty easily setting rivets too.
Yeah.
But we're on this big
3-inch.
about a 3-inch piece, and I've got a piece of steel on top of it.
You got a nice heavy hammer.
I've got a nice heavy maul.
A whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole, yeah.
Well, and it's really handy that you have, I mean, obviously you could hang your buckle off the edge of the granite there.
Yes.
But you've got that lip so that you don't have to worry about those pegs.
Right. And the line that I was showing you guys on the front of this buckle, you don't want to set your stirrup leather any further forward than that because the other stirrup leather has to ride over the top, and these are actually offset just a little bit to account for that. So anyway, I've got the burr set on there. Now I'm going to clip off the excess.
He's got foot-tall nippers.
Yeah, these are a pair of horseshoe nail clippers.
Horseshoe nail clippers. For all you horseshoers out there, that is your tool to use for your rivets and burrs.
Yes. Now, the rivet setter has a hole on one side and a little dome on the other side. I use the hole to actually set the burr on there, but now I'm going to use that dome to rivet these over. Hence the name rivet. Those will never come apart. You will have to pry those apart, drill them out, or whatever. But I go one step further. I use a domer and actually dome these rivets over a little bit. And the reason I do that, and no, we don't have these for sale.
We don't.
We don't. But the reason I do that is because a lot of times when these rivets wear, they'll wear really sharp,
Mm-hmm.
and the middle part will actually wear out before or the outside edge will wear out before the middle, and the rivets will just pop apart.
Oh.
So I do that, plus it looks good. All right, that's the simple way to do it, you guys.
Okay.
But now we won't move, we'll go in the same spot. But I only brought one of these here, so I'll use the 2.5 inch for this part.
Oh, he's got it. The processed pieces.
Or am I back over here?
I don't know.
Wherever you want to be.
Okay. On this, I've actually stitched these two pieces of leather together. This is a 2.5 inch for a 2.5 inch buckle, so the strap is actually 2 3/8.
Mm-hmm.
But I've come in about 5/16 of an inch.
So a pretty wide seam allowance.
3/16 of an
3/16.
inch. I'm having trouble reading what I wrote, you guys. But I came in about 3/16 of an inch. Now that'll give me room to shove these buckles in there. But I'm going to mark my holes first. And this has a little line on it, just like the other ones did.
Are you going to slide that little tongue in between those two pieces?
I'm going to slide this tongue in between the two pieces.
Okay.
And I'm going to punch my holes first. Now I'm going to use the same drive punch, this number 3. I didn't have to read it this time because luckily I remembered.
All right, Denny, Eugene has a question here. He said, do you think you could still do a twist with the locking mechanism?
Sure.
Okay.
Because it'll be readily visible inside or out. Now I'm just going to go in between these two pieces of leather. And these ought to fit just pretty nice and snug.
It looks pretty snug to me.
That's pretty good right there.
Look at that.
Pretty good. Now I'm going to stick these rivets in here.
Harry, we're showing you how to install the new style of stirrup buckles that we just brought on.
Blevins buckles. Blevins style buckles.
Okay.
Back to your granite.
I'm going to the granite.
Bye, Denny.
See ya. Yeah, it's a long trip.
It's real far. I don't know if you can do that specific one,
And I'm
but
going to set this rivet the same way I did the other one. I'm going to use a little hole in the end of this setter. And by the way, you can turn these buckles either way. If you turn them one direction, the stirrup leather will be on the outside. If you turn them the other way, the stirrup leather will be on the inside. And it's just your preference. I prefer for the stirrup leather to be on the outside. It's easier to adjust. Plus, if it's on the inside, you've got to do something with all your extra stirrup leather. You've got to hide it some way or another. Those of you that are putting these on, you will understand what I'm talking about.
if you make saddles or do saddle repairs, you will understand what Denny says.
Have that. Let's dumb these over a little bit.
You remember what you got your domer, Denny?
This is an antique. I got it when I bought my first saddle shop.
There you go.
And it was old and worn out when I got it. I had a fellow actually had an extension on it.
I see that.
I don't know if-
Back over.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Hang on.
I'm coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a fella actually had an extension on it here.
I saw that. Because it used to only be this tall, and I'm sure Denny whacked his fingers a few times.
Yeah, you start hitting your knuckles pretty soon.
Yeah,
for sure.
but that's what it looks like. And there's a couple different. I don't think not all of them have this kind of serration around the edge. Some of them are
No,
smooth.
yeah.
I think the
I've
buckle
heard
guy
people
sells a
that-
set. I think OTB maybe, or Weaver will sell a set.
Yeah, Bob Douglas sells a set.
Okay. They're not,
I've
usually
heard
they're
it-
pretty expensive. I feel like usually for like a doming set, you're looking at about $100 or so,
Yeah.
if I remember right.
I've heard of people even using a threaded nut and a bolt
Oh,
about this size, you know, and use it. It'll make a little design on the outside, you know, with that.
You can have a hexagon out there.
you can have a hex head
Yeah.
on your stirrup.
Rocky Mountain, somebody said.
And it used the large domed rivet setters
Yeah.
will work for this too. The large size. I'm not sure what size, how many millimeters that is.
I think it's 12. I feel like 12.
But anyway, that's how you set those. I brought a pair of stirrup leather ends here that I can shoot. Let's just mark
Hey,
those
Eric
and
from Wyoming.
punch a few of those.
I'm sure you know what we're doing, Eric from Wyoming. But then again, I just assume that everybody in Wyoming rides horses to work, so.
Other than you guys that drive trucks and cars.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Everybody
everyone-
else is in the 21st century.
Yeah.
There
All
we
right.
go. Just hopping on Tonto.
Now these what's the name of this company? Cowboy Tech?
High tech.
High Tech. These high tech buckles, like I say, have exactly the same dimensions as the Blevins buckles, so the holes will be the same distance apart.
Oh.
And I generally start about an inch from the end, and you can make however many holes you want.
Denny's just eyeballing this all the way up the center of his strap here.
No, I'm eyeballing this, but I will set my dividers to the center here in a second before I
Oh,
mark.
Eugene took a Dremel tool and modified a bolt to make a domed punch. There you go.
That will work. Yes.
Yeah. You're right on, aren't you? You and your eyeballs.
No, not exactly. I am close.
Once he punches that hole, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Ah, I see what you're doing here. So you go through and you mark about center, and then you find center on the line, and then you just double check it.
Yes. See, this one I was a bit off,
Uh-huh.
but I made it.
But because the hole's so big, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, it won't matter. Won't matter a bit. Okay, then I will take, and I'm going to use a drive punch for this. This is a 5/16, and it will work pretty well.
I'll say, I bet if you have any Amish
Maybe I ought to
antiques,
go over here.
if you have any Amish antique stores in your
Don't do it on the
neighborhood,
steel, though.
they would probably have some antique of these domed rivet setters.
They could, yeah.
If you live between here and Kansas City, there's about 5 Amish antique stores that you can go find.
You don't have to find them. You just buy them.
Drive up 13 and they're there.
Now, when I punch these holes, I'll just kind of give this a tap and look at it to make sure I'm centered over that hole.
I knew it, Eugene. I knew it.
And you can make as many holes as you want. A lot of people, especially on the 3-inch buckles, they will go halfway between these holes and punch another set.
Oh, really?
Give you a little finer adjustment. The 2.5-inch buckles, the holes are fairly close together anyway, so I won't do it on them.
Yeah, these are significantly farther apart.
Yeah. Okay.
This is almost 2 inches. It's like 1 7/8 inches on center.
Yeah.
And that one's what? A little over 1 inch?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 1/16 inches.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will punch a hole that's exactly the same size as this buckle. I like to punch a little bit
up here.
bigger. I like to punch them a little bit bigger. It makes it easier.
So you don't have to fight it.
Yeah, you don't have to fight it. But see, these go just like this. Actually, what did I do with, oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, this is where it'll go. Sometimes I get confused, you guys.
That's where I spent most of my life.
All right. After you get these together, put them on the wrong side. Yeah, my doohickey was on the wrong side.
This is complicated. I feel like maybe it makes more sense when everything is on the saddle and you can't
Right.
flip things different ways.
Well, this, you can always take this off and readjust it. This
This
slide.
is what makes your stirrup leather, whenever you have Blevins on it, it makes it easily adjustable and removable.
So that's how they work, like that. See, if this was an actual stirrup leather, it would be bent like this.
Okay, there we go.
Be bent like this.
So this goes up to your saddle?
Yes. It goes up to the saddle.
And then goes over the tree and comes back
Yep,
down.
yep. It would,
Just like that?
yep. But see this little trip on the back, you have to trip it to adjust it. Then you can adjust up or down. Then you've got to go back over that little clip.
So on one of the things I saw on their website, they talk about hearing the click.
Yeah.
Know you're safe.
Yeah.
That click right
I
there.
heard it. I heard it.
No, Dean, they don't fly off the shelf. We have them securely attached.
Yeah.
For a while there, we had trouble getting any.
We have, yeah.
Well, and I think there's still, it's both styles, whether you go with the original Blevins buckle or if you go with this new locking stirrup buckle thingy. They are both made in the U.S. They are small batch manufactured. They are not a mass-produced item. And so, I mean, I say mass-produced in the sense of like overseas in a huge factory. They are produced here. And so it is, I mean, sometimes we'll go a couple weeks without one of the sizes. We have people call it, my goodness though, I mean, if you're a saddle repair shop,
Can you see
do
down
these wear out?
Can you see down there?
Mm-hmm.
We go through so many, we'll have people that call and they'll order 10 or 20 sets at a time of whatever their preferred width is. And I can just, are they just doing repairs? Are they actually making saddles?
Probably repairs.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're a saddle company, they probably buy direct from the manufacturer. You know, if they're building lots of saddles, production type saddles. Small saddle makers like I was, or any of the guys here in town, or local saddle makers, they probably won't buy direct from the manufacturer. They'll buy from us or someone like us.
Well, now I guess I have another question just because I'm not really into the saddle world all that much. But so say, do people use different stirrups for different things on their saddle? Like, could you have multiple stirrups for the same saddle or for different purposes?
The stirrup really doesn't matter.
Okay.
You know, for a 2.5 inch stirrup leather, you need a stirrup with a 2.5 inch neck on it.
Right.
And for a 3-inch stirrup leather, you need one with a 3-inch neck on it. But like most roping saddles and heavy saddles are built with a 3-inch stirrup leather, and most lighter weight saddles, barrel racing saddles, even trick saddles, a lot of times will have a 2.5 inch stirrup leather. It's a little less bulky, you know, little less weight.
Well, this is good for like when you have two daughters and one's 14 and one's 7, and you've got to shorten up the stirrups for the little one.
Exactly.
Or you change out the stirrups themselves to go to a fatter one for the little one to be able to put her foot on, and then my older daughter likes to ride with a skinnier.
Yeah.
So there are different stirrups that you could, and so
there's many different stirrups that you put your foot into.
Right.
So you can switch them out depending on what you're riding, or if you're trail riding, or if you're just comfort riding, or if you go into barrel racing. You would use a whole different saddle if you did trick saddle.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, any other questions about what we got going on here? I think, did you have anything else?
No, I don't believe so.
I know when I told Denny about this, he's like, "That's gonna be a fast video."
Well, you know, the main thing is putting the actual pins on the right direction. So when you have your actual fender and saddle put together, you know, like this would be for the stirrup leather to be on the outside like this. You know, if it was turned around, the stirrup leather would be on the inside,
Okay.
which to me makes things really difficult because, like, if you shorten the stirrup leather up, then you got a piece on the inside there that's doubled up. Then instead of
Yeah, does that go inside your stirrup?
yeah, that would have to.
And you're gonna step
Well,
on
your
it?
stirrup is sitting right here.
Okay,
Your stirrup is sitting like this.
gotcha.
But it makes it real thick in here for one thing, but it also makes it where it's hard to adjust up and down.
We should have brought your saddle up in here.
Should have.
Rob's question was, could you use these on something besides stirrups? You can.
On some
Be
of
real bulky.
what?
Can you use it on? Can you use the Blevins buckle on something else besides a stirrup?
Sure. Sure. Any strap that's this size, you can use it on.
Yeah, you can use it.
I mean, you can use a 3-inch stirrup or 3-inch Blevins buckle on a 1-inch strap too.
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
Hopefully, Eugene
You're
was
not
able
gonna-
to see what he wanted to see. Was see in the back part of it. That was I was trying to show.
Yeah.
He was wanting to see how far the buttons stuck out.
Yeah.
Or like if you're making some of those, if you have an old timey car and you're doing some leather straps on the outside, this would be a good way to connect some of your straps together
Yeah.
that might be a little bit more secure than just a regular buckle. It'd be a unique choice, but I would be into seeing them for other things.
Right.
We're gonna have to do a little R&D to see what else. I mean, you could put it on anything.
Yeah. Anything with a large, heavy strap. You know, that's what these are made for. I mean, they are designed for stirrup leathers, but there's no reason you couldn't use them for something else.
Tell you what, guys, we'll have a competition and see which of you can use a Blevins buckle in the most unique way that's not a saddle.
Yeah, I'm trying to. These say yeah.
Backpack straps. That might be a little intense, Jackie.
So on Facebook, that he was asking if they were stamped wheat, which they are.
Yeah,
Stamped
the
Wheatland.
real Blevins buckles come from Wheatland, Wyoming. Yeah.
Yeah. And then these are stamped with the new tech tack on it, but this is, you can't really see that, but this is the original Blevins.
Yeah.
And those are stamped Wheatland. These other ones are
Oh, I had it upside
stamped
down.
Kaufman, Texas.
Yep. So both items produced in the U.S. So if that's important to you, you got it. That's what you got, and then use some Permanoak leather, and you're good to go. 100% U.S.
I guess the only other thing I've got to say on Blevins buckles, these are all aluminum. The tongue and the pins are aluminum, and they corrode. And I've changed. You know, I love the way Blevins buckles have always worked, but I didn't like the fact that they corroded away. You know.
I do actually. I think that these are still aluminum because I was reading on his website. If you guys want to go, I do think that these, like this is stainless, but these are still aluminum.
They sure don't look like it. They might be. We don't have a magnet in here, do we?
I mean, we got my lineup card holders. They got magnets in them.
Oh, I have a magnet right here at the door. I'll hold up our bug net.
So the locking Blevins come
Yeah.
with
That's not aluminum.
Alrighty.
the locking.
That's what I read on their
The
thing.
locking Blevins come with the laser or stamped or whatever that is on the outside of it.
Yeah, this is how it comes from the manufacturer, and I'm not going to ask them to not put their logo on their buckle.
Right, and then I think the Blevins ones we have, they just come blank.
That is
No
correct.
stamping on them.
Yeah, the metal is stamped, but not the leather.
Thanks for the use of your magnet.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, guys. I thought that I read that on the website.
So
but-
the original Blevins one that come from Wheatland are
They're aluminum.
Yeah.
The pins are.
Yeah.
They aren't magnetic at all, and the thing doesn't weigh
The plate.
absolutely nothing.
it,
And
it is
that would be the only complaint I've ever had on a Blevins buckle.
Mhm.
Is that they're aluminum and they do corrode.
Well, and I will tell you, the locking styles, they are more expensive than the original Blevins. So that, I mean, you will notice if this is something that you do purchase on a regular basis, there is a price difference between them because they are stainless steel, and I assume that this mechanism is more expensive to produce than having
Sure.
it plain. So it is a bit of a more expensive investment, but depending on your customers' needs or what you would like to put on your saddles, you can honestly, I don't think that a $15, $20 difference in a buckle is going to make too big of a deal in the overall price of the saddle.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
So you're probably going to get a couple $1,000 for your saddle. Hopefully, you should.
Well, there's that
You,
video.
if you build a saddle, you're going to spend $1,500 to build it.
That's right. So you should get several thousand back.
You might as well spend $1,520.
That's right. Oh.
Well, if you want to join on the after party, Liz and I will be there for a little bit, covering some little things here and there. Mostly uncovering the table so that we can set up live shopping for.
That is correct.
What are we doing on Friday?
On Friday.
Oh, I've come up with one too.
Oh, hey. So also when we were in WISA, and I've seen it before, we've just never really pinned down a time to do it. Anybody have a cool blazer that they want to jazz up with some leather work out there? Because I do, and I love my blazers. So I brought in my denim blazer, which is appropriate for Springfield leather because we are the land of denim. Denny.
This is not denim.
No, but it's denim colored. We will be doing leather lapels on blazers. So come and join us for that. I gave Denny a little idea this morning. He had drawn up a beautiful Sheridan floral lapel carving, and I was like, why don't we try a bird? So
There's a reason for the bird.
there's a reason for the bird. Yeah, so anyway, that's what we'll be doing on Friday. Denny will be making lapels, and we will be attaching them to my denim blazer, which I'm super excited about. So everybody join for that. Jazz up your clothes with some leather accents. These were not, Rick, no, these were not made by Blevins.
High Tech Tack.
High Tech Tack is the company that made the locking stirrup buckle.
Adjuster.
Alrighty, folks. Well, hopefully everybody will join us for live shopping tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central here on Twitch and then superficially on Facebook because now we are doing everything on Twitch. So if you'd like to join us, figure out how to do that. It's real simple. You just,
The locking stirrup buckle.
locking stirrup buckle. See, I had it right, didn't I?
So we'll,
I did,
I think
yeah.
so. So we'll make sure. Madison McDonald, who actually wrote at the NFR this year, she was the featured writer at the NFR, uses them. She was
Yeah.
the featured trick writer.
I think if you just Google locking stirrup buckle, and they're all up on our website. So if you type in Blevins, you will get all of the styles that we carry, locking and regular.
Then the Blevins that are
So
Blevins
that are
Wyoming.
actual Blevins from Wyoming. So alrighty, everybody, we will see you later. Hope everybody has a lovely afternoon, and we'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.